what it is, what's happening. So I'm spending some time on the Bronco. I haven't had a chance to work on it all week like I wanted to. So what I've done so far to the Bronco is filled the intake runners up with a solvent to try to clean the carbon off. And when I filled up the intake runners, number one intake runner, as I'm filling it up, fluid was leaking out. Let me show you where I'm at. So you can see the clean spot right there. That's where the fluid was leaking out. Stuff did a pretty good job on cleaning the intake runners up. It's got them pretty clean. So now I'm doing an intake gasket on it. And then I'll get it back together. And we'll see how it runs. I believe we got it finally straightened out. It's just been a fight, but we're getting there. Like I said, I got it all apart, got everything cleaned up. I'm just in the process of going back together. I'm going to clean the gasket surface off the cylinder head, put the gasket on, and put it back together. I actually did fool with the tow truck behind me. Let me spin you around. So I'm in the process of putting a fuel pump on it, make a new fuel line to go up to the carburetor, and I'm going to replace the carburetor on the truck. Now this is a 390. Believe it or not, this truck has 65,000 original miles. Let me show you something. Let me get you down in there a little closer. I just took the fuel pump off a little while ago. Look how clean it is inside there. I mean, look at that thing. She is clean as a whistle inside. I was really surprised how clean it is. I mean, even inside where the oil filter screws on is nice and clean. Just really nice and clean motor. I could actually put my finger in there and touch the time machine. It feels fairly tight. It's documented 65,000 original miles on this truck, and it's pretty clean. There are some other stuff I got to fix on the truck. Of course, it needs brakes and all that jazz. Right now, I'm just trying to get the truck to run. It'll run if you dump gas down the carburetor. The carburetor is just shot from sitting. And somebody at some point in its life has butchered up the metal line that goes from the fuel pump up to the carburetor. So I'm going to make a new line, put a new pump on it, and I've got a fairly new 600 Holly I'm going to stick back on it. Hopefully she'll be back to just hit the key and fire right up. When I bought it, if you pumped the shit out of it, you could get it to run, but it would idle, but it idled real rough. And if you closed the choke plate, it would smooth it out. So the carburetor's just gummed up. I did pop the front bowl off a year ago, and it's really nasty inside. And since I have one that I know is good, we're going to put it on. So that's where I'm at with the tow truck project, because I know some people have been asking what's going on with some of the tow truck toys. I'm going to try to get this thing up and running, get the brakes done and all. And I'm trying to play with this in between working on this pile of crap. And I've got some customer work going on. I got a van over here I'm doing a motor in. I got a S10 in here on the lift. These are actually jobs from the old shop that I need to finish up. Kind of actually what the point of the video I was going to do today was, so I picked up a new customer yesterday, and you know, you guys comment in the comments, see what you think. This is how I handle things. I don't really, this is my home shop. Everything in this building and everything here, it belongs to me. I do have a day job. I work. Some of you guys that personally know me know that I run the shop for a car lot, and I work on late model cars on the daily. When I say late model cars, I'm working on stuff that's like 20 and older, you know, on down the scale. We don't get anything really newer than 20, really. But that's what I'm working on during the week. So I got a call from a buddy of mine that lives down here at the beach. He says, hey, I got a friend of mine. It's got a 16 Kia. They were just driving it, shut off, and now it won't start. Can you come over and look at it for him? He says, I don't know nothing about this stuff. Sure. And I'm going to take on a few customers here, but I don't want to be nothing on the scale that I was at the old house shop. I don't want to be that crazy scale, but I'll take on a few new customers. So I called the guy up, talked to him on the phone. It's 2016 Kia Optima, and they're known for motors. They're terrible cars. So he tells me, he says, it's got the little light up on the dash. The key fob won't do nothing. It's push button start, and he thinks it's something with that. Won't crank over, won't do nothing. Okay. So I grabbed my scanner, some basic tools. Head over his house yesterday. And I fool with it. No codes in it. No codes in the theft or anything like that. When you hit the button, you could hear everything click under the hood like it wanted to start. And I got to thinking, I had one of these push-button cars once before. There was a no start. It turned out the motor was bad. So I get a couple tools. He had some tools in his garage, and I put a couple tools together and put it on the crankshaft to try to turn the motor. The motor's locked up. The motor's just done. So it needs a motor. So I told him, I said, look, Kia's got an extended warranty. They might cover it. They might not. He says, well, you know what? He says, give me a price on the motor. I'll probably have you put a motor in. He says, hey, while you're here, he says, could you take a look at my Dodge truck? He's got a 99, 2000 Dodge Ram with a 360 in it. He says, it runs rough. He says, trans don't feel like it shifts right. He said, but it's struggling to get up to speed. He said, the check engine light's on. He says, I have no idea. So I plug it in. Bunch of misfire codes, 202 codes, and a evap code. Okay. I happen to notice the misfire codes was on 7. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 6 and 8, which are right next to each other. Has new plugs and wires on. They crossed the wires. So I switched the wires around and boom, she's smooth as glass. So the man asked me, he said, what do I owe you? I said, you know what? I said, let's see where we fall with this Kia motor, and we'll go from there. If Kia covers it, then, I'll charge you a little fee, nothing big. But other than that, let's not worry about it, because he's a good friend of a very good friend of mine. I said, you know what? I'm going to let it roll. It's not a big deal. It was a crappy rainy day yesterday. I took 30, 40 minutes of my time. He lives right around the corner. So the man texted me last night. He works nights. Texted me last night, thrilled to death. He says, this truck's never run this good. He says, trans is shifting perfect. It was running rough, so of course it's not going to shift right because it's not building no power. So, sometimes going a little out of the way, you gain a customer, and you're going to get a good customer that's going to pay and be thrilled. That's kind of where I was going with this video a little bit. Taking some time just to maybe help a guy out, not really charging me. Yeah, I'm not a shop per se, but my experience and all my time that I've spent over the years, I was able to go over there and spend 20 minutes tops and diag 2 cars, fixed one for the man. I didn't charge him anything, but I'm definitely getting 2 motor jobs out of him because he's got a Toyota Camry there that needs a motor. And if Kia does, if he's holding off on the Toyota for the moment, and to see if Kia is going to cover because I told him, I said, Kia has an extended warranty on some of them, not all of them, but they might cover it. So he's going to hold off on the Toyota because he really needs to fix the Kia because he still has money on the Kia and he wants it on the road. So I said, well, let's see where we fall with the Kia, and if not, then I'll work you up an estimate. If they cover it, then we'll move on to the Toyota. So I got 1 motor job out of the man just for taking 20 minutes of my time. And, some of these shops, I understand, I'm not dumb. Shops got overhead, they got electric bills, light bills, employees, yada, yada, yada. But some of these shops are shameful. I have a car for my day job sitting at another shop right now that they charge the lady $1,600 to tear it down per the warranty company. So the warranty company wanted the cylinder head removed to see if the cylinder head was cracked or block was cracked or head gasket was blown to see if they're going to cover it. So the lady's okay with the $1,600. Okay? They tear it down. Turns out the head's cracked. They're not going to cover it. So the car's going to come back to my dealership, my daytime job. We're going to put a motor in the car. Now, I was supposed to pick the car up Friday. The guy at the repair shop said he's not releasing the car because she needs to pay an additional $500. The additional $500 is for him to put it together enough to get it out of the door and into the parking lot. That's shameful. I don't need you to put it together. I got a rollback. I can get cars with no wheels, no trans, no motor, no frame. I'll get it on that truck. And I'll get it on that truck without damaging it. That's just shameful. He's going to charge a woman who's already got no money an additional $500 to put the car back together. He's lost her as a customer, guaranteed. Guaranteed. She'll never go back. And that's what burns a lot of these shops down, and they don't even realize it. They're putting their own foot in their own mouth. I went out of my way. Now, I may not make no money yesterday to spend a little bit of time going over there, but I got a customer, and I already got one motor job, if not two. And that's how I've been doing things for 30 years. There's no sign hanging on my door. There's no sign hanging out on the street, and my shop is always busy. And I'm the only one doing all the work. So it's a shame that some of these shops do this to themselves. Like I said, I'm not dumb. I know you got overhead. I know you got bills. But to charge a woman $500 to put the car together enough to get it out the door, I don't need you to do that. As a matter of fact, I could back my truck right into your door, and you could just set her right down on the bed, and I'll leave. You ain't got to charge her. I'll get it out of there. I can't tell you how many cars I've backed in here that were broken down and set them on my lift right off the truck. It's just shameful how a lot of guys are these days. So that's kind of my little rant video for today. I don't have a whole lot of exciting material today. I didn't work on this Bronco as much as I wanted to through the week. I didn't work on it yesterday because it rained. When I came back from checking out the man's Kia, it was raining. I went in and made a sandwich, and I laid on the couch and took a nap. I lived a beach life yesterday, I'm not going to lie. But I did fool with the tow truck this week because I want it running. I want to be able to get in it, start it up, and move it around. Because right now it's dead in the water. It doesn't run. I moved it over here with the other wrecker. And it's kind of in the way. It's kind of a pain. So it needs to run. It really does. My plan with this truck is all new brakes, all new tires. I'm going to repaint the bed eventually. But I'm not going to restore this truck. I'm just going to, I guess you could say, preserve it. It's a really nice old truck. I just don't want a restoration project out of it because I've got the other tow trucks I'm fooling with. But this is just a cool old truck the way it is, and I want to leave it the way it is. I want to go through, like all the wiring in the back is kind of butchered up. I want to fix that stuff up. I got another light bar for it. I'm even going to go as far as buying all bias ply tires that are the period correct tire for this. So, phone is full, and it keeps kicking the video out. So I'm going to end the video here. But I'm going to share more content on the tow truck because I know a lot of guys want to see it. So once I get the fuel pump on, the fuel line made up, and get it running, I'll do some content. I'll clear some garbage out of this phone, or I'll go buy a brand new phone this week because this is getting ridiculous. So look, holler at your boy. Keep it reals. Catch me on the next one.